In the vast tapestry of Chinese agriculture, the practice of raising dogs for meat stands out as one of the most controversial and complex industries. Deeply embedded in certain cultural traditions and fueled by economic necessity, it is a practice that sees over 10 million dogs raised and slaughtered annually. This video explores the intricate dynamics of dog meat farming, examining its historical roots, the modern practices employed by farmers, the ethical debates surrounding it, and its uncertain future. Dog meat has been consumed in China for centuries, with historical references dating back to ancient dynasties. Traditionally, dog meat was valued for its purported health benefits, believed to provide warmth and nutrition during harsh winters. In some regions, dog meat is considered a delicacy, often associated with festivals and special occasions. The most infamous of these is the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, which has become a focal point of international criticism and local pride. Despite growing opposition, many argue that eating dog meat is no different from consuming pork or beef, citing cultural relativism. Today, the dog meat industry in China is a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Concentrated primarily in rural areas, particularly in provinces like Guangxi, Jilin, and Henan. The industry supports a significant number of farmers and workers. The sheer scale of production is staggering, with millions of dogs bred specifically for consumption. This large-scale operation raises questions about animal welfare, food safety, and ethical considerations, fueling a heated debate both within China and globally. The process of raising dogs for meat is multifaceted, involving various stages from breeding to slaughter. Certain breeds are preferred for their size, growth rate, and meat quality, with the Chinese rural dog and Tibetan Mastiff among the most common. Breeding practices are often focused on efficiency and yield, with puppies raised in intensive farming conditions. The primary goal is rapid growth, achieved through high-calorie diets designed to maximize weight gain in the shortest possible time. Living conditions for these dogs are typically harsh, with animals kept in confined spaces with little to no enrichment. This lack of stimulation and space often results in health and behavioral issues, which are managed with minimal veterinary care focused primarily on disease prevention. The slaughtering process varies, ranging from small-scale operations to more industrialized facilities. While some efforts are made to ensure humane treatment, the lack of consistent regulations leads to significant variability in practices. For many rural communities, dog meat farming is a vital economic activity. It provides employment opportunities and contributes to local economies, often in areas with limited alternatives. The industry supports not only farmers, but also workers in transportation, processing, and retail sectors. However, this economic reliance is increasingly challenged by shifting public attitudes and the growing influence of animal rights organizations. Cultural perspectives on dog meat vary widely within China. While some regions embrace the practice as a cherished tradition, others are moving away from it, influenced by urbanization, modernization, and global perceptions. The younger generation, in particular, is more likely to oppose dog meat consumption, viewing dogs as companions rather than livestock. The ethical debate surrounding dog meat farming is complex, encompassing issues of animal welfare, cultural identity, and human rights. Animal rights activists argue that the practice is inherently cruel and advocate for stricter regulations or outright bans. Internationally, the industry faces condemnation, with many calling for China to adopt Western standards of animal welfare. In response to growing pressure, both domestically and abroad, the Chinese government has begun to implement changes. Recent legislation aims to improve animal welfare standards and regulate the dog meat trade more stringently. However, enforcement remains inconsistent, and significant challenges persist in changing deeply ingrained cultural practices. The future of dog meat farming in China is uncertain. Shifts in public attitudes and dietary preferences are driving change, with a growing number of people advocating for a transition away from traditional practices. The rise of alternative meat sources, including plant-based and lab-grown products, offers potential solutions to address both ethical and environmental concerns. Efforts to promote sustainable farming practices and improve animal welfare are also gaining traction, with some regions experimenting with more humane and ethical approaches to dog meat production. However, these changes are slow to take root, and the industry continues to operate in a largely unregulated environment. Dog meat farming in China is a complex and multifaceted industry that sits at the intersection of tradition, economy, and ethics. As the country navigates the challenges of modernization and globalization, the practice faces increasing scrutiny and calls for reform. The path forward will require a delicate balance between respecting cultural traditions and embracing modern standards of animal welfare and ethical consumption. The future of this industry remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the conversation surrounding dog meat farming is far from over.